Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So recently I was looking through my arcade and I realized the only thing I'm really now missing is I don't have any pinball machines. So looking back over the years when I was younger, going to visiting arcades, every once in a while I would play a pinball machine and would be in the local arcade and everything else. So once I started collecting arcade cabinets and everything else, that's been my driving force. But now that I've gotten my last, or the candy cab that I've been looking for the longest time, I'm starting to think about maybe getting a pinball machine. And so just starting to dig into it and looking at the different companies that still make pinball machines and stuff like that. So far, what I've come across is first one that I came across was Arcade One Up. Um, has a line of pinball machines. Star Wars, Marvel, Attack from Mars, Pinball, right? So just looking through it and everything else, these are digital pinball machines. They have an LCD screen. From what I've found so far, these are not 1080p screens. I think they're like 720 inside of here. So they're okay. It's going to be your standard arcade one up fare. But from what I've heard, everybody said that some of the games they play okay, but that a lot of people would have preferred to had a 1080 screen inside of here, and also the ability to add new games after you've tired of playing the games that are here. So some pluses and cons for each one of those. As far as prices, so like if we go to this marble pinball is $5.99. Star Wars $5.99, and Attack from Mars is $5.99. So all of them $600, and you got to pay something for shipping, but not that bad. So that was the first company I ran across that did some pinball stuff like that. So I looked into that, and then the next one I've heard people speaking about was one from the At Legends. So this one right here was another pinball machine that I heard about. So if this one, I believe it does have a 32-inch LCD playfield, and I believe this is 1080p. So it's upgraded, it's a little clearer, right? Um, you do have the option to connect this unit to a PC or a laptop, and basically use something like Pinball FX3 to add new games to the actual pinball machine, or have the pinball machine run those new games. So that's a plus as well. It does come with some games in it and such. So I was looking into this one, and so far um, a lot of people seem to have high regard for this pinball machine. So they like the fact that you can add new things to it, and that the display is larger than the one on the arcade one up. So been looking into this one. It seems to be pretty good. I've never had anything from the Legends arcade family, but I've heard some good things about this pinball machine. So we're looking into that, thinking about it. The price for this one, let's go see. So it looks like the price for it is normally $9.99, but currently $7.49. So only, what was the arcade one up, was like, what, $5.99? So not too much more for a larger screen, and you get the option to bring your own games with it. But once again, this is still a digital offering, so it's not going to be your standard fare as if you were using or expecting pinball machines from the past when you used to visit the arcade. So there's pluses and cons to both of those, but it does have a little bit, the specs on it are a little higher than the one from arcade without, and it's about $150 more. So this is another option that I've been looking into as well. And the next option I've been looking into is from Stern Pinball. So they have a line of pinball machines that they have out that are in production right now. Some newer, some older stuff. Um, it looks like they have this mechanism to play or at least connect some of these newer pinball machines online, so you can upload your score and compete with other people like that as well. So that's pretty neat. Um, Obviously, with it being air quote real pinball machines, the game that you get is the game that you get on there, right? So you could modify things on the playfield per se, but you won't be actually adding in a new game to the pinball machines that they have here, right? So that's one thing. So if we can go look and see the list of all of the pinball machines, let's see if they, oh, those are accessories. They have all these accessories. So that's a Star Wars Home Edition. Okay, all right. So they, if you go look at the games, maybe if we go here. Okay, so now I had to figure out how to navigate their site. So what do you have on here? Rush is a game. Godzilla, Star Wars, Led Zeppelin, Avengers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Elvira, Jurassic Park, Deadpool, Iron Maiden, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Star Wars. So I think these are all of the current pinball machines they have out that you can purchase right now. And then they probably have a bunch that they've made in the past but are no longer in production. So if you want any of these, I guess I would have to go to the used market and buy it from someone out there. But for me, just getting into pinballs, if I decide to go into the this route, I would probably just get a new one, um, because whereas I have what, 15, 16 years of dealing with arcade cabinets and fixing them up and doing things with PCBs and everything else like that, I already have the experience and knowledge dealing with pinball stuff. I would be coming in fresh, and I would not have the backlog of knowledge to know how to fix things and get all those things for any of the older cabs and stuff like that. So that being said, I would probably stay into with the games that are newer, I should say, instead of trying to get something used at the start. So if you go take a look at the games themselves, so I'm not going to play the trailers because YouTube can get very picky about music and stuff like that. But they tell you, I guess, for example, they have limited edition versions, pro versions, exclusive versions, and they tell you how many were made, and then they tell you the price of them. So that is, I guess, if you want to look for a drawback of getting a air quote real pinball machine, is that they are on a higher class as far as price versus the Arcade 1-Up and the At Legends pinball machines. So over here, we're basically, and I guess they're going to be different prices for the different pinballs, but you're really looking at, if you're coming looking at like the arcade world, you're talking about a full-on brand new machine, right? You know, arcade machine for these prices. So it looks like that's, and this is just the MSRP. I guess depending on if a game is in stock or hard to find, that you could easily pay over the MSRP. And then I was just clicking on the Pro. So then if you go to the Premium, okay, so alright, so the Premium is basically 9,000. The Pro is basically 7,000. And the limited edition is basically 11,000. So each one of them, I'm sure, have their own pluses and minuses as far as what comes in a limited edition versus a Pro and stuff like that. Upgraded audio, playfields, so you get your other upgraded things. So a lot of the stuff you can upgrade to an existing Pro, but there'll be some things you just can't upgrade, like if it has some moving components and stuff like that. That part you'll just be limited to what your playfield can do, right? So it makes sense, but that is quite a different ball game, basically from the um, Arcade 1-Up and the At Legend. So you're basically talking about 7,000, 9,000, or 11,000 for any of these. From just me taking a quick look, looks like that is how everything is. 7,000, 9, 11. So yeah, it looks like they are they have these standard pricings for the Pro, Premium, and Limited Edition, irregardless of what type of playfield you want. I guess that's pretty good. It'll be consistent however you want um, as far as pricing, but it is a much higher price. So, as I said, I've been just looking at these different pinball machines because it's one thing that I am truly missing from my arcade. Been focusing so much on different games and cabinets, but don't have any pinball machine, and that is like, it's like an itch. It's like I feel like I want a pinball machine to just play, but I don't feel like playing a standard arcade game just to have one. Now I know some of you remember I said this years ago when I was like, yeah, I just want one single arcade cabinet, right? And years later now I have what, like 14 arcade cabinets or something like that. I don't know. I lose count. But it's always that thing. You get one and then you're just like, oh yeah, I can get one more, and so on and so forth. And next thing you know, you got a room full of arcade cabinets. You have a room full of pinball machines. So I know how that goes. But I truly do mean that I just want just one um, pinball machine to go with it. So thinking about it, obviously whatever I decide to do, I will update you all and do an unboxing of whatever I decide to get, obviously, whether it's the Arcade 1-Up, whether it's the At Legends, or if it's Stern. Now I know of some other pinball companies that make real pinball games. I think there's like there's another company that makes what, Cactus Jack, I can't think of, like Chicago Pinball or something like that. So some other companies like that, but this was just Stern is what I'm hearing a lot of people talk about recently. That has decent quality, not the greatest of everything, but decent and a wide range of games and stuff like that. So anyway, just me just going through and just doing some talking head, pondering of what's next for me. But I'm definitely thinking about getting a pinball machine now. It's the question of which brand, and obviously which game, right? Because whether you do the arcade one up, you got three different ones to pull from. Um, if you look at you got a Marvel, Star Wars, Attack from Mars. So if we go to this route, which one? Um, if I go the at Legends, well, not so much limited about that. It's just more or less figuring out how much value I'm going to get out of the games to come with it. Do I want to buy the add-on packs to expand it, or would I be a person who just hook up a computer and or a laptop to it through the USB port and play it through that function? And if I do that, well, there is a little added cost because I'm going to want to set up a PC or buy a laptop and then hook it up with the different games and run it through. So it's not as cut as dry just to say this will be $749. I think the price was. If I were to get this, because I still would have to get me a decent laptop or a decent small form factor PC to go inside of it. So that is going to be another additional cost. So you could probably I could probably set up a PC or build one for this. I don't know, maybe $300, $400 to go on top. So you're raising the price of this one basically to like 1,000 or 1,100 to get it to where I would want it if I went this route. And then finally, I could just say screw it. If I'm only going to get one pinball, just let's just go all out and get a real one, air quote real one, that has the real balls, the real play fields, and everything else that goes along with it. So a lot to think about, a lot to decide on. But if you have experience with any of these different pinball machines, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you've experienced, what you think, which of the three different manufacturers you would go with. If cost was not an issue, I'm just thinking about, which one would you truly make you happy. They all seem to have their pluses and minuses, so just give me a comment down there and let me know what you're thinking about it. And then I'll be thinking about it and let you all know what I decide, and we'll go forward from there. Um, Thanks for listening. Hope everybody's safe out there. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later. Peace.